All right, the Latino vote may be a critical test in key states on Super Tuesday as it kicks off right now. One analyst estimating that roughly 1/3 of delegates up for grabs in Texas and California will be determined by Latino voters. Here to discuss this is America First Action spokesperson Steve Cortes is back. Steve, first off, when it comes to Democrats, we'll start on their side.
Right.
Bernie Sanders, if you look at Nevada, he has the Hispanic vote locked up. How?
Right. Look, Bernie Sanders has done a good job within the Democratic Party of appealing to working class people. Most Hispanics fit that category. So he has spoken to the anxiety of working class people. Now, I think all of his solutions are wrong, right? All of them involve more government rather than more freedom. But I'm not shocked that within that terrible field of radicals on the Democratic side, he's doing better among Democrat Latinos than others.
Does Beto O'Rourke showing up saying Joe Biden's my man in Texas do anything amongst Democratic primary voters?
Look, Robert Francis O'Rourke can show up and back whomever he wants. He has no credibility in the Hispanic community. I mean, we saw that with how quickly his presidential aspirations flamed out. So I don't think it's material in any way.
All right, so let's talk about what the president has done in the Hispanic community. You mentioned he got about 30% of the vote in 2016. What's changed?
Right. So, Brian, he shocked the world, by the way, by getting 30%. Now, I don't want to have a parade by only getting a third of the Hispanic vote. I think
George W. got 44%, right?
I believe we can win the Hispanic vote this year, and here's why. The economy. Just a one-word answer, the economy and opportunity. What we see right now is we Hispanics are the most entrepreneurial demographic in America by a long shot. Stanford University just did a study. Over the last 10 years, the number of Hispanic entrepreneurs in America has grown by 34%. The overall growth, non-Hispanics, 1%. So essentially flat for the rest of America, up 34% for Hispanic Americans. It's part of our DNA. It's part of our culture. The entrepreneurial zeal of the Hispanic community is incredible. It's a gift to America. And Donald Trump, because of tax and regulatory relief, Donald Trump has unleashed this kind of optimism in the Hispanic small business community that I believe will translate into votes.
Well, by the way, work ethic, too, I would say, factors into that as well.
Sure.
But a lot of people say, look at the Remain in Mexico policy. They're building the wall. That's the signal traditionally. If I was to talk to you 5 years ago or 6 years ago when they were doing the autopsy in the Republican Party, they say ease up on the rhetoric at the border and illegal immigration. Hispanics are misinterpreting that.
You know, Brian, look, I think it's a complete media narrative and a Democratic narrative that Hispanics are soft on the border. If you were to listen to them, right, you would presuppose that the majority of Hispanics were not born here and that a great percentage of them are illegals. That's not the case, right? The vast majority of Hispanics in America were born here. Our citizens are not soft on the border. And on top of that, Brian, I think this is key. We're not as a community fixated on border issues. Again, what drives us in terms of politics, I think primarily, it's the economy. It's opportunity.
And real quick, a lot of people in the Hispanic community like you say, don't generalize. There's so many different facets to the Hispanic community. Cubans feel different from maybe Central and South Americans.
No, look, absolutely. We're 60 million people in the United States. By the way, if we were our own economy, the Hispanic Americans, we'd be the 8th biggest economy in the world and growing. I mean, that's the key.
Well, I just can't believe with all the stuff you know, why does CNN let you go? It doesn't make any sense, Steve.
It's so glad to be back here.
I'm glad you are. Meanwhile, great to see you.
Hey,
it's going to be an interesting day on Super Tuesday to see who acquires the most on the Democratic side. Meanwhile, more gas.